Alrighty. Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 9 of Star Wars Fortitude here on Encounter Roleplay. We are missing a couple people. One's having some computer issues, and the other two are unfortunately absent. The one with computer issues should be joining us here very briefly. So, welcome to episode 9. For those of you watching on YouTube, you can catch us live Sundays at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here on Encounter Roleplay. And again, a big thank you to everyone tuning in here. Yes. So real quick, let's go ahead and introduce those of us that are here, and then we will go ahead and move on and introduce our lovely sponsors. So starting to the side of me.
Hi. I'm some guy Dom, and I'm very scared that we don't have any of the fucking combat-centric people here today when we're about to go into the bowels of a haunted spaceship. I'm Diavan Cree, the pilot, or Edo. I've lost track. I'm a man who flies with a jetpack and a flamethrower, and who's going to die this session, probably.
Nonsense.
Hi. Derrilus Pax. Oh, wait, never mind. Hi, even further along.
Hi, hey. I am Drake Finney. I play Seika, your local doctor who is going to try to keep people back together after we almost completely die repeatedly. And I do have some combat training. I can at least make you not hurt as bad, Edo, as you cross over into the after reanimated life, just a little bit. And also in honor of our character, unofficial NPC, yes, we have Pickles. So,
yep.
Jar of pickle. This is from my mother-in-law. My mother-in-law is really cool, so yeah.
Does she watch the show?
I think she's watching it in the other room with the family right now. I think she is, because she's kind of going, what the hell does he do for hours on end? So,
Hi, Drake's family.
Yeah. I sit here in the dark and play by myself. Wait, that doesn't sound right. Never mind.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why don't you introduce yourself, Ripper V?
Yeah.
He's busy creating new stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah, that man is an artist.
Yes, he is.
Alrighty, and Miss Panthera down there.
Right, that leaves me. I'm Eris, or Animus Panthera, and I'm playing Daskaval, a very charming smuggler who is, not really been all that useful against zombies, or they don't really care how charming you are. She's trying real hard, though.
Yes, and Mr. Give Me an Axe, who's playing Derrilus Pack, should be along shortly. So,
and yourself, Bean.
Yes, I am Lazy Bones, the man who has lazy bones, and and I am your illustrious game master for today. Okay, and let's go on and introduce our sponsors. This week we are sponsored by The Spy Game, a D&D 5e compatible spy game with action, espionage, clandestine organizations, and secret agencies. You take on the role of a spy, running intel and engaging in wet work to ensure the security of the world from corrupt governments and the evil machinations of rogue villains. It's coming to Kickstarter soon, and the Quick Start PDF is available free on DriveThru RPG. Fantasy Grounds is our other one of our other sponsors for this week. It is our virtual tabletop of choice. All the roles you see down in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen. That's Fantasy Grounds. We're using the community pack for Edge of the Empire by Trenlo over on the Fantasy Ground forums. Huge shout out to them. This thing is awesome. And if you play with miniatures at home, or you just like collecting them, kind of like I do, you can get all of your miniatures from Wayland Games. Go to waylandgames.co.uk and get yourself a huge range of D&D, Warhammer, and 40k minis for up to 20% off. And last but not least, our last sponsor is Tabletop Loot, who sell incredible dice. If we hit 20 retweets on the live tweet for the show, we will give away a free set of dice in the chat. So make sure you go and retweet that because they have awesome dice, and I love them because I buy dice from them too. And lastly, you can interact with today's games by donating natural 1s, natural 20s, or in this case, despairs and triumphs, wild magic surges as the force goes wild. And you can also donate to give some players a pet, even though we kind of have one already in the form of our trusty companion Pickles. And if there's any particular moments you love in the game, please clip it and tweet it at us, because we love seeing what you love seeing. Let's see. Alrighty, and without any further ado, let us get into episode 9 of Star Wars Fortitude. So, last we left off, you all discovered something a little interesting. With a brief brush with a large group of zombies, you made it out relatively unscathed and made your way to the medical deck, where you discovered the log of medical officer. Let's see, let me find that. There we go. Of medical officer Cedro, the chief doctor on board. Where she'd become a little unhinged in her writings after picking up a specific artifact on the planet of Otis or Faustin. And also, after running some brief tests, our glorious Dr. Seika discovered that he would need to power up the ship completely in order to power the lab equipment to potentially make a cure for the ship, or for this virus that seems to have changed the population of the ship into flesh-eating zombies. We pick up where we left off last time, where the crew is standing right in front of the main door to the engine deck, for lack of a better term. And upon opening the door, they found that the walls were covered in thick black vines sporting black and white flowers everywhere. And these vines are filled with a thick black syrup of unknown makeup, I suppose.
Don't call it syrup, because then Dio's gonna fucking eat it.
So, with our slightly less than normal crew, what would you all like to do?
Hey, Seika, Daska, how about we split the party and then those three go off a different way, and we go this way? Wouldn't that be just a fucking neat idea?
Eat.
Yep.
Wow, convenient plot device.
Would that be wise, man, watching from the cameras? Not responding. Well, what's your opinion, Bean? Ah, jeez.
I think we should stick together.
Hey, at least we get some NPC of fire, yeah.
But if you want to be alone, I understand, Ito. You seem very stressed.
Yeah, I am Bean. I really bloody am. This is not what I signed up to be doing. I didn't think we'd be fighting weird syrup flowers and zombies in an old Republic vessel, but... How about me and Sky go first? Yeah? Good with you?
He nods.
I've got this.
I'll stick behind me and Sky to the wall.
And as you walk through the hallways, you notice the walls and floor are completely covered in these, thick vines and flowers, conspicuously. As you walk underfoot, you notice that where your foot lands, and when it comes up, it's clear of vines, and you notice that the vines suddenly rush to recover the area where your footprint was.
Now, remember last time I asked what Pickles was doing in reacting to the vines?
Yes.
So, do the vines seem attracted to him, or vice versa?
The vines, neither. The vines don't seem to be attracted to Pickles, and Pickles, as much as a zombie could be, Pickles is kind of like standoffish, I suppose. I'm trying to think what would be.
He's not even a whole zombie. He's just a head in a jar.
Yeah, just a head. I'm trying to think of what skill you would use.
I think it's just a perception check.
Yeah, I think you could probably use either a vigilance or a perception check.
I bet Seika's real good at those.
It would be easy either way, whichever you prefer.
Oh, you said perception. What was the other one? Vigilance?
Perception or vigilance.
Yeah, both are the same.
Oh, goody.
Yeah.
Does that mean they're both trash? Ah.
There we go.
Okay. Yeah. So you can tell that Pickles seems almost like scared, as much as a zombie could be. You see the eyes are kind of wildly darting everywhere, but it's just a head, so it's kind of it's hard to emote. There's not a lot of body language you can read.
Well, I'll look at Ito and go, thinking about it, this artifact, Pickles doesn't like the vines.
I don't like the vines.
Yeah, but what if two things were released with the artifact instead of just one? What if we're dealing with two problems here?
Please,
one's a natural predator for the other.
I mean, if you want to throw Pickles into the vines and test your theory.
I do, but there's still so much I want to do with Pickles also. So many experiments.
I mean, I'm sure we could harvest a fresh head somewhere.
You've got a point. You've got a point. You've got a point.
As long as we put it back in the same jar, it can still be Pickles. They all look kind of the same. They're all clones at one point. They all do look the same.
Well, we could just call this one Gherkins or something. That's fine. Get a little a tiny one. So
We'll get a baby.
So that's what we'll do. We'll open the jar and roll the jar in the direction of the vines and see if the vines attack the head.
Okay, so you roll the jar.
Lidless.
Yeah, exactly. And as it rolls, Pickle's head kind of comes out and rolls in the vines for a moment, and you see immediately the vines like grow into the neck, into the ears, up the nostril, into the mouth, into the eyes, and within probably about 2-3 minutes, the vines have completely enveloped the head, and you just see a lump of vines, and it slowly just like sinks until there's nothing there anymore.
The enemy of my enemy is my friend. I'm liking the vines.
Yeah, I'm very glad I didn't immediately burn them on sight.
I know, these guys have potential.
Okay.
And it hasn't attacked us. It moves when we step in its direction.
Hey, Seika, don't laugh when I do this. Oi, vines, we're on your side. Please be nice to us. I think we're good. Because I mean,
as
it ate the head. It's not touching us. It's moving out of the way for us.
As you are moving along, you all see like bits of clone armor, like attached to the wall or like on the ground, on the ceiling. No like complete suits, but like maybe like the plates that go on an arm and a chest plate, like the cuirass of the armor, or like 2 legs. You know, no complete suits, but you see that there's bits of armor like stuck here and there.
Now,
And you do notice. Oh, go ahead.
Considering what we just watched happen to Pickles, I want to see if the armor and all that has bite marks, scratches, like similar to the zombies, like they were zombies that walked into this area, or if the vines happened to just attack them and melted them.
Yeah, go ahead and make a perception check or a medicine check. That will be medium.
I will go definitely medicine in this round. 2, 3. Medium check?
Yep, medium.
Yeah, I'm figuring out the dice system.
Oh.
All right. So yeah, you kind of manage to, with like a squelching noise, you pull off part of the armor, and you notice like this armor is you pull off one of the cuirasses, like the back plate and the front plate. You pull it off and you kind of take a look at it, and you see that there's deep scratch marks down the front, and you see that around the scratch marks it's pocked with blaster fire. So there's large blaster bolt burn marks.
I think these were zombies that walked in here.
I would say that with your 2 advantages, you do remember long streaks of dried blood on the ground coming up to the door that just abruptly stopped at the door to this part of or to this compartment, this area of the ship.
So I think the zombies got to the door. The vines grabbed the zombies, dragged them in here, and decided to eat them.
Mm-hmm.
But we need to make sure it won't turn on us.
Yeah, that would be a bad start. They haven't yet. I
So
say
I think
yet.
Daryl should take his glove off and grab the vine.
That would be smart. Yeah, so if Daryl just shoves his bare face into one of those big flowers, that would be great.
Yeah.
Well, does anyone want to smell the flowers?
Yeah, Daryl does, yeah.
Stop and smell the roses, or the orchids in this case.
No.
Daryl has a look of no. I am going to take my glove off and put my back of my hand towards the vines and see how they start reacting.
Please.
I can lose the back of the hand. It's okay.
Can you?
You put the back of the hand towards the vines. They start growing kind of around your hand immediately, and you feel it tickles at first, but then it starts to burn, and it starts to burn a lot.
Get it out of there. And start.
It resists, but after you pull pretty hard, with like a squelching noise, like pulling a boot out of mud. Mm-hmm. You manage to get your hand, and there's a couple bits of the vine still stuck on your hands.
Oh no, Mirscott, leave. Mirscott, get out of here right the fuck now. It eats organic matter. He's not wearing fucking shoes. He needs to eat. Mirscott needs to leave right now. It's gonna start eating his feet.
How is it acting to his feet?
It is like, it seems to be like growing up kind of around his feet, but you notice that every so often he just kind of stops and it like retreats from his feet. Yeah, he just has to like stomp his feet every like 10 seconds or so, and they retreat off. He seems largely unfazed by it.
Now I'm going to peel the parts that are on my hand off and take a look at what marks are left on my hand.
You have burn marks in the shape of the vines that were on your hand.
So it's an corrosive kind of an acid.
Well, as long as we don't touch it, we should be on good terms, and maybe we can even feed it a snack of hundreds and hundreds of undead.
Yeah, like a ball of hands would have been nice to have thrown this thing at.
Would have been, wouldn't it?
Mhm.
Sadly, it had to die. It was gross and awful. Well, I suppose... I mean, what's further on from here?
So you guys are in the engine compartment. So there's a lot of like power cabling. The main reactor is here, so you could use that to turn on the engines and power the entire ship. So
I guess we do need to find the engines then, because that's what we need for the cure, right, Seika?
Mm-hmm. Yes, please. That way we can stop this.
All right. Come on, then, let's get a move on. Let's go find this engine room and try not to get eaten by zombies, plants, or cut in half by Jedi.
So yeah, you all make your way. Let's see. Everyone, go ahead and make me a medium survival check.
No.
Just flat no.
I refuse. Hey! Okay. Oh, success. Success. Success! We're
Okay.
great.
Okay. So as you all are slowly, I assume slowly, making your way through the engine compartment, you all start to feel lightheaded. There's this really like sickly sweet scent in the air, and it starts to cloud your judgment. But I would say both Ito and Seika, you guys both suffer one strain. It's kind of this cloyingly sweet, like it starts to take its toll, and you start feeling tired and like
Does it
you're
work
being
if we
drained
have
of.
those air-sealed filters in our entirely space-proof suits?
That actually doesn't matter. It's,
Well, fuck.
Mhm.
It's a psychic thing, it seems then.
Yeah, it's almost as though your like judgment is being clouded, but Daska, with their superior survival instinct, manages to keep. I mean, all of you, you're not lost, but Daska in particular, even you're starting.
We're
to
not
feel
admitting
this.
we're looking for droids yet, so yeah.
Yeah, that's very fair. But you make your way into the main reactor room, and you walk into kind of the door that to the foreman's office, which is a small office kind of up above, and you see the main reactor. And you see that these vines have grown up to the main reactor and had like stopped. There's a hard line kind of to where the kind of the catwalks around the reactor. The vines have a very hard line stop right there. And you see on the reactor, or on the kind of the main catwalk where you could walk up to the reactor and restart it, you see that there's a altar of some kind. As you look at it, it appears to be made out of bone. And resting on it, floating about 6 or so inches up, is a cube spitting slowly. a black cube with gold embroidery, just kind of like gold filigree, just kind of running across it. And you notice the gold glows for a moment and then stops. And then it glows for a moment and then stops. And then glows for a moment and then stops. And you all feel that like behind your eyes. Like when it glows, it's like you have a headache, a throbbing headache that seems to throb in sync with the glowing on this floating cube. Pow. Are you going to shoot at it?
Dio is actually miming, going like, pew, pew, and like looking to Sega for approval. It's like,
Looking at me for approval. I definitely think we found our artifact.
yeah, but the people who touched it last or were near it turned into zombies. You know, so that's a bad
I'm wondering
start.
where the bones came from, though, that they built the altar with.
Are the zombies? The Jedi, maybe? I don't know. There's too many things going on in here right now. We've got the plants, but the plants meet at the zombie cube. So, hang on. So, wait, no. Okay, the plants are eating the zombies, but the zombies came from here and the plants live with the weird cube.
And the zombies like to eat us as well.
Is the cube trying to undo a mistake it made by making these plants to try and get the weird ravenous zombies? Does it look like the plants are sprouting from the altar or like around it?
Go ahead and make a perception check. Make an easy perception check, Ito.
Awesome. Let me find out how good I am at perceptioning. Oh, I'm excessively average.
You can't see any direct connection between the cube and the vines, but you do notice that as the cube pulses, and you feel it in your head, you do notice from the vines around you, you do notice that they seem to shimmer in the same sort of in sync fashion, the pulsating of the cube.
So who wants to be the guinea pig and touch the weird spinning cube on the altar?
I already stuck my hand in the plant.
Hey, Darylus, buddy! You want to touch the weird fucking cube?
Sorry I'm late. My computer literally died as I was booting everything.
No worries.
Yeah, boop. Infinite reboot loop. I don't know where I'm at. I don't know what's going on. Sorry.
There's a weird floating mystic cube on an altar made of bone surrounded by living plants that eat living matter. Do you want to touch it?
Yeah, I caught that part.
You guys are in the main reactor room. So the cube itself is about 100 meters away from you guys. Like 100, I would say closer to like 150 meters kind of down, and it's right in front of the main reactor. It seems it's floating right in front of the main console where you would reboot the main reactor from.
Right.
So it feels like option A, someone
What else do we know?
takes the cube in hand and becomes the lord of the plants, or option B, we shoot the cube and get rid of it and just deal with the consequences and turn the reactor on.
That sounds a typical reaction from you.
Yeah. Those are my two ideas.
What else do we know that I may have missed?
I believe that to be the cube that was described as the artifact that they found on the planet that turned everyone into weird zombie things. They said it was a cube in a box, I believe. So this is it, right?
Oh, fancy.
Oh, hi.
Hey, better layout.
I do something right.
Nice.
Have you tried affecting the plant with anything?
We fed it
I
pickles.
used my hand. Yeah. It ate pickles.
The head, not actual pickles.
Okay. I don't know what that means.
Oh, right. Yeah, Darius was spacing out during that time. Yeah, we got a pet zombie head. We called him Pickle because he's in a pickle jar.
jar.
For a while. He's gone now.
Yeah, we
Got it.
fed him to the plants.
May the force be with him always.
Always.
And what happened to Bean and Merskar? Are they just not here today?
Sure, yeah.
They're here. They're
Okay.
just really quiet. They're
Just trying
not-
He's
Yeah.
right.
Just
No.
They're just zoning
You
out.
never know. Me and last thing I knew, Bean were locked in a room with a bunch of zombies pounding on the door. So I
Saved your
actually-
life, definitely. You're welcome.
Yeah, no, actually, as you look at Bean, he seems to be, excuse me, they seem to be standing kind of stock still and just staring slack-jawed, where as slack-jawed as an insectoid creature could be at this.
I see.
at this
That's an
view.
introduction. Jaw way down and being just animals going dicky, dicky, dicky.
Yeah.
well, what's the cube hooked up to? Is it like, is there a certain range that seems like things happen to things? Or
The cube isn't hooked up to anything. In fact, it's floating about 6 to 8 inches above this. It's floating 6 to 8 inches above this altar. That's kind of right in front of the console for the reactor, and it's spinning very slowly, and it pulses. And as it pulses, you kind of feel like you can feel it behind your eyes. This gentle pressure. As it pulses.
Well, I guess then, for the sake of getting us out of here and completing the mission, and since I have a jetpack and get away from it very quickly, shall I go up to the cube? I've got a fully vacuumous space
Sure.
here now, so that hopefully the spores, if anything happens, won't affect me or anything like that. I just want to get this
Sure,
done.
that's what you want to do.
We've seen
Well, no
how
one
you
else
fly
is
before.
involved,
Though.
are they? Yeah, well,
I don't want to do that,
well,
but you can.
yeah. Okay, Seika, be ready to do anything in your power to make me better, please. If anything goes wrong, I want every other person's gun trained on anything around me, please. Okay, dear, you can do this. You can do this. You're brave. I believe in you. I'm gonna go towards the cube altar.
Okay, you make your way down to the.
Down as well.
Mhm. You make your way down to the altar. As you get closer to it, that throbbing that you felt in your head gets stronger. It's almost painful. Or it gets painful as you get closer. So from where you are in this office, it's like a very dull, throbbing headache, and it goes to hurts more as you get closer. About 100 meters, 75 meters, it hurts even more. 50 meters, you feel tears starting to run down your cheeks inside the helmet.
Ow.
It hurts so much. As you get closer, the pain is almost unbearable. And then all of a sudden, Dio, as you're about 5 meters away from the cube, it stops. And you hear a voice in your head. So, someone else has come to try and release me.
Hello.
Another pawn for my game. And suddenly, your mind is filled with static, Dio. And I need you to go ahead and make me a hard discipline check, please.
Ha! Okay, these I
on,
can
buddy.
actually do somewhat. I
You got
believe
this.
so, at least. I'm actually quite decent at these. Do I have? I think I have. Yes. Okay. Who destiny with me?
Okay. You feel something pushing on your consciousness, and you manage to push it back, and you hear that same voice say, "You are a strong one, much stronger than that Jedi from before, much stronger than those weaklings who discovered me."
Yeah, I know.
Ooh. Ito's Jedi level. Woo.
So, what's going on here? I would demand answers, but I don't know if I'm in a position to demand anything yet.
Touch the cube, and it will reveal all.
I look back at the party and just go,
And you're the only one hearing this in your voice, right?
Yeah. No one else can hear this.
I was
if it's
just
heard
gonna
me, just
blankly go,
speak it out loud.
you going good?
He's not dead, and he just gave us the thumbs up. So maybe we should go up there too. And
Okay.
we got done.
You grab the cube, and there's a flash of light behind your eyes, Ito, and you feel flung almost. And all of a sudden, you are in a lab. And you see a hand reach out, as though it were your own, reach out and pluck a petal off of a flower. This flower looks familiar. It's the same flowers that have been growing out of the vines all around you. Pluck a petal from the flower, place it into a mortar and pestle, and various reagents and alchemical ingredients float into the mortar and pestle and start mixing together. And you see the liquid inside get pulled up and placed into a syringe of sorts. You see the hand reach out and pick up the syringe and walk over to a young man who is sitting in a chair. And the young man looks almost right into you, and he says, "Are you sure this is going to work, Master Scabrous?" And you hear the same voice that spoke into your head. And he says, "Do not worry. Everything will be all right. This will work. And you will be one of the most powerful Sith in the galaxy." And the hand holding the syringe jabs it into the arm of the student. And he lets out a howl of pain as you see, his shirt sleeve has been rolled up, and you see the veins, coarse black, all down his arm, up into his neck, and across his face for a moment. And he sits there for a moment, and his eyes roll into the back of the head, and he starts convulsing. And you see him convulse for about 30 seconds, and then he stops, and his head rolls back. And then you see the head rolls forward, and there's no pupils, no corneas, no irises. The eyes are just completely stark white. And the young man lets out a deep, throaty growl that you recognize that these zombies make. And you see all of a sudden a lightsaber appears in your hand, and in one fell swoop beheads this young man who had been sitting in the chair. And you hear that same voice go, "Such a waste. But he knew the risks." You feel a sensation of time moving forward as there's another flash of light. And you see this, again, from a first-person perspective, of lightsabers, about 3 or 4 red lightsabers cutting through swaths of these zombies, cutting down dozens, hundreds. Seem to be carving a path towards a specific goal. You feel the emotion of, this is the goal, this is where we need to go. And you eventually get, after cutting through dozens of these things, you eventually get to a door. And you feel an intense focus, and the hand in front of you is reached out, palm facing towards the door. It shakes. The door shakes, and you turn and look over your shoulder, and you see one of the warriors wielding a red lightsaber get dragged down by what looks to be 20 of these zombies. You see another one get dragged down a couple seconds later, and the head turns back towards the door, and it opens. And you see, the one whose perspective you're watching runs forward through the door and shuts it behind them. Time flashes forward even more. And now you feel an intense hunger. You haven't eaten in weeks. It's the hungriest you've ever been. And there's a constant moaning, growling, and scratching at the door behind you. Sitting on the table in front of you, floating from about 6 to 8 inches off the table and spinning slowly, is this very same cube that you remember touching. There are all sorts of runes inscribed on the walls. And you see a flower and a mortar and pestle and a small test tube filled with the same liquid that you saw injected into the young man from before. You sit down on the ground. And after what feels like hours of intense meditation, suddenly your consciousness focuses in on this cube, and almost like you're jumping to light speed, you jump into the cube. And there's another flash of light, and suddenly you're back in your own body.
Okay.
And now you have come to see how things have passed. And now, you, and like the others, are here to release me, yes?
If I did, what's your intent?
Seek power.
So you made all of this happen around me, I'm assuming. The biting undead creatures, the plants, that was all you.
It was my creation. I found these, harnessed them, gave it a purpose.
You call these mindless undead harnessing the power? You've made mindless undead creatures. This is not harnessing. You're out of control. You've lost control of all of this.
They are passionate. But as my teachings have found, through passion you gain strength. Through strength you gain power. Through power, victory. And through victory, your chains are broken.
Yeah, and through passion you create undead, mindless urchins that do nothing but bite and snarl at anyone near them, no matter if they're Sith or I assume Jedi or anyone. You've created something horrible here. Why would anyone want you out of that box?
There's no answer.
Out of curiosity, do we hear Dom talking?
I was going to ask
You
that
can
same
hear-
question.
Well, that's something for. I suppose that's a question for Dio. Did you leave your comm channel, your comm link open when you were walking down there?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so you can all hear Dio talking.
Not sure what to do with that information, but we know that.
I'm
That's
only
like
hearing half of the conversation.
Ito, who the hell are you talking to?
Talking to the box.
The box is having a conversation with you.
There's a Sith, I assume a Sith Lord or something within the box. He was the one who started the zombies and the plants stuff. He tried to make his own powerful Sith army using something boiled down from the petals and the flowers, but he clearly fucked it up badly, didn't you, Box? Because now he's made an army of undead that have filled this ship full of their own and these weird plant things, and he just wants to come out and keep doing it. And he expects me to let him out. He's asking me to let him out of this box, let his consciousness out of this box, so that he can keep doing all this. You're having a laugh.
There's a strength in you. If you were to join
Yeah,
me.
no shit. I got here when your damn Jedis and Sith couldn't.
You know,
But you would've let me out.
I'd argue
I
you're
will take you
insane
on
in
as a
family.
student.
Yeah, no, sorry. I'm not one of the people with the whole force magic-y shit. I'm not one of your people. At all.
Think of how powerful you could be. All you have to do is reach out with the force.
So,
feel like
the box is
people
trying to sway
I
the
like
dark
power.
force. Guys, you got any suggestions?
Power is
I mean, you're
good.
not going to tell me anything without letting him out about how to fix all this.
The voice continues on.
Because of course it does.
These plants are the failsafe. They will consume the entire ship. And after consuming the entire ship, they will condense all organic matter. And I will be reforged anew. More powerful than I was before, more powerful than any being has been before.
And what happens if I shoot your little box?
Go ahead and try.
Okay, the plan is not to shoot his little box. He seems very confident about that. So,
What if we
Guys,
put the box in a box? If it's just
I
floating
still
there,
don't
maybe we can move it.
that can happen. Well, moving it isn't the problem. The problem is that there is a Sith something in this box that's unleashed all this.
Yeah, but what if we pickle them in a jar?
So, Darylis, Seika, and Daska, I need you all to make me a hard perception check, please.
I'm using a borrowed computer right now. Can you do that for me?
Yeah. What is your... Do you have your character sheet handy?
Yeah, I do.
Darylis?
Perception, you said.
What are we doing?
I noticed nothing.
Perception.
Two,
Actually-
Perception check? Okay.
two cunning, two. So
And it's a hard one. Darn it.
Yep, so it's 3. So that would be 2 greens and 3 purples for you?
for me,
Yeah.
no, I have a 2 in cunning, so it'd be two. Brain.
2
Do the math.
abilities.
It would be not greens, but the one above greens.
Yellow.
Oh, yellows.
Thank you. What are the colors? I don't know colors.
Red and yellow and pink and green.
Okay. So you got one success on your roll, Darylus.
Thank you.
You notice as you kind of look out the window down onto the floor, you notice a robed figure walking up behind Ito, but walking towards the altar, but still like about 5 or so meters down because Ito's on an elevated catwalk, and you see the figure reach into their robes and pull something out, and they turn on a green lightsaber.
I knew.
Well, we don't necessarily know that that's a good guy, right? We don't know the colors.
We just know that he has a lightsaber.
Right, but we don't know which ones are good or bad, and also we've been told for the last 20 years that all Jedi are bad. Right? I nudge you guys and point to him without words.
Take him down.
Ooh.
Me.
The Green Jedi.
Commented on.
Did anything happen with him before? Really occur, or is this the first time we're seeing him since the first time we saw him?
We've had a lot of run-ins with the damage they've done and the crud they've pulled.
But what has happened to us by the? I don't know what we may have missed. If anything would have happened that would have skewed my perception of this, I don't know. I can only go with where I was 2 weeks ago.
They Jedi caught, or the Hands Jedi caught a missile shot from the plane one time.
Also, this Jedi carved up and left a bunch of zombies in a hallway somewhere. Like there was
that's what I remember.
Yeah.
And then he stopped. The missile stopped in midair, and then that was the last thing. That was the last time I was here. So
that wasn't this guy. That was the giant hand dude thing,
which was probably composed of other Jedi Sithy things.
Oh. All right. Well, you think that maybe he's waiting to see if Ito turns into a zombie?
I'm not willing to wait to see what he wants to see what Ito does.
The voice speaks to you, Ito. I offer you one more chance. Join me. Become powerful. Or I shall turn you into fuel for my engines of war.
Darth Darius does sound good. Or sorry, Darth Diavin.
Dio.
Or Darth Kree.
Darth Kree, yeah.
Oh.
You'd be back in Legal Empire.
Oh shit! Yes, I would.
Wait,
no, hold on. Vader. I know he's a Sith. He's Darth Vader. That's like. I would be.
But also this guy has just suggested that the zombies are a good thing.
That's just an experiment that went wrong.
We get zombies, the rebels get Ewoks. We win.
And I have proven that I am stronger minded than Jedi and other people that came here. I think I've got this.
God. Why did I suggest this? Why did I suggest this?
Theo exhales a very long exhale and goes, all right then. What have you got?
Oh.
And the shit hits the fan.
Yeah.
For my
Okay.
senpai Vader. My senpai Darth Vader.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Theo is such a Vader fanboy.
Yeah. Okay. Ito, go ahead
Ben's
and
got
make me.
nothing on you.
Go ahead and make me a daunting discipline check.
We never rolled a force die, so can we do that now?
Oh yeah, we didn't.
Yeah,
So that I
sure.
can,
Everyone, go ahead.
I
Go
can
ahead and
turn
roll.
one of those normals into nothing. 1, a 2, a 3, a 4. Nice.
Okay, I will roll a force die for Jesse as well.
Thank you.
5.
I feel
Okay,
so
well.
deficient today.
Okay, I'm definitely turning one of those green into a yellow.
Okay. All right, so that's 4 purples.
What was it? Discipline, yeah?
Discipline. Yep.
Come on, Dievan Cree, you son of a bitch. That's going to be 4 successes.
Okay. All right. 4 successes and 3 threat. So you reach out, you focus on the box, and you notice it, and all of you can see this as well. It starts unfolding itself, and it grows to twice its size, and then 3 times its size. It seems to be infinitely kind of unfolding on itself until
It's box now.
until it's about the same size as you, Ito. It's about the same size as you, and then it opens, and a skeleton falls out of it. Just crumbles to the ground. And all of a sudden, the 3 of you see Ito start convulsing. And shaking. And he falls to the ground. And, okay, Ito, you have just been possessed by the space ghost of Darth Scabrous.
Ah, why?
Ghost!
Wow.
The Force
Okay,
ghost
go in and change
of
things.
Darth
That's good.
Scabrous.
Bring it
Okay.
on,
Grass is just gonna be
motherfuckers.
like, you idiot!
And you hear in your mind, Ito, you hear the same voice say, look behind you. He was weak. You are strong. Kill him. And there you see a cloaked figure holding a green lightsaber. At the ready.
How should I do this?
Flamethrower.
Sounds like a plan. I'm gonna burn his robes to ashes.
Okay, go ahead and make a ranged light check. You get a black because it should be ranged heavy, but it is ranged light.
That's fine. I take one
Due to your
minus off that
attachments.
because of my proficiency of my guns, so it just comes.
Okay.
Oh no, it doesn't. Oh yeah, it does negate one, doesn't it? Yes, I believe that's the way it works.
Yes.
Okay, cool. What was the difficulty? Sorry.
Man, I wish Fiend was here.
Yeah, so it is. The difficulty is 2 reds.
Red. Ooh, okay.
Mhm.
Bring it on, Jetty. Oh, I'm not good with this flamethrower.
You spit out a gout of flame, and the cloaked figure holds up its hand, and the flame just kind of washes around him.
Cool sound effects. I want to use my maneuver to immediately just click. Poof. I want to go up. I
Okay.
want to get out of there.
All right, go ahead and make me a medium planetary piloting check
Rad.
with 2 blacks, I think, because it has poor maneuverability.
Yes. I take 1 off of that because my skill jockey, so that's just 1 black. Man!
Nope, you are out of control.
I shout
Something's
down the
never
microphone in a very angry voice. Kill him! To my comrades.
Okay, everyone go ahead and roll a vigilance check for me, please, for initiative, so we actually get into initiative order.
Oh dearie me!
You notice that both Bean and Mirskar, the only 2 people to have been affected by this virus, now have their hands clutched to their head and seem to be, almost in a catatonic state. Man, this worked out really nicely.
Wait, what?
Gee.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that Bean had gotten infected at some point. That's not good. All right. Well,
I tried to stop
it. Ooh, baby. Man's got
Okay.
stiff powers.
Let's see.
Oh,
so
nice.
we've
Nice
got
guy.
Deska. What would be your go ahead and roll. Yeah, what's your successes? What was your vigilance roll, Darylus?
Me? Oh.
I believe that was a success and a triumph.
Success and a triumph.
That one.
Okay,
Triumph, right?
let's see.
Yes, that is, yeah.
And
Well,
then the other one was-
the triumphs are only on the yellow dice.
oh, well, then
I think
I'm high. That's right, because that's the triumph. Yeah, that's right.
that's a triumph.
But it was this, the little U-shaped thing with the dot, and then the.
Oh, that's an
the-
advantage. Okay, so you have a success and an
Detecting the
advantage.
advantage.
Yes.
Okay. Mandem's a
Okay,
Sith
so
Lord.
we
Let's
have-
fucking do this.
Deska.
I
Dio.
knew I had these dice laying around somewhere, and I want to try and make it a little easier on you.
Darylus. Cinco.
Ooh, Lord Vader's gonna love me.
Okay, well, things are going a little wild here.
Yeah, you don't say.
Okay. All right, cool. So, you notice that the Jedi, after deflecting the flame, you see him turn off his lightsaber for a moment and kneel, and the room starts to shake for a moment as you see the vines suddenly start moving. They start pulsating, and they form together and almost start braiding into each other like rope.
Okay.
And behind the behind the Jedi, you see the vines start braiding up into a form, a humanoid form, and you see bits of clone armor that has been stuck to these vines in various places start to stick and collate into 3 sets of armor, each of which are armed with a blaster rifle.
Okay.
One should be missing a chest piece.
No, there's more bits of armor than just the ones that you guys found.
I tried.
Unfortunately.
Oh, it'd be so good. You just recollect one. It's like, oh shit.
Oh no. All right, cool. So up first is Daskaval.
Oh, just gonna be like, oh god, oh shit. Just out loud, but quietly. And then I guess shoot at one of these weird vine people. She was all set to try and ask this Jedi some questions, but she's like, oh my god, what the fuck is that?
Okay, go ahead and make a medium ranged light check. And upgrade. It would be automatically upgrade one of the purples to a red.
Okay.
Oh, a despair. Okay. All right. That is the first despair that we've had. So for those of you watching at home, a despair is this rule set's version of a critical failure.
Oh.
Yeah.
What are you doing, Master?
So as you pull out your blaster pistol and aim it at this thing, you are filled with an overwhelming sense of dread. You are filled with an overwhelming sense of dread as the sudden realization of really everything that's going on kind of hits you at once in a great flood of emotion, and you just don't know what to do. You suffer 4 strain, and I'm going to say with that you lose your next turn.
Oh boy.
You are stunned for a round.
Cool.
Alrighty. Dio. Or Edo.
You're muted, Darth Gabris.
Okay. Let's go with the normal methods for now. Let's just pop some shots at him. Oh wait, I'm still
You're still flying. You can spend your maneuver to make a planetary piloting check to be in control of this.
What I will do.
This will be. I would say this would be hard because you're still out of control from last time.
That makes sense.
Okay, cool. You spend your maneuver. Stabilizing yourself.
Right. Okay. I don't know why my camera is all fucked up at the moment, but oh well. I will listen to the voice in my head and take another shot at the Jedi.
Okay, because you have the high ground, I will...
Yeah, I fucking do.
Yes, I will give you a boost for that. So, again, the difficulty would be 2 reds.
2 reds, got it. Bang.
Okay, you managed to hit.
For 7 damage.
For how much?
7.
7 damage. Is that with your hand flamethrower or a blaster pistol?
Oh, that's the blaster pistol.
Oh, okay. Yeah, your blaster pistol. You see it, hit him in the shoulder, and he looks angry.
Understandably.
Okay. It is now the Jedi's turn. Let's see here. The lightsaber turns on. Let's see. Yep. All right. Well, I hope you guys are ready for a your first experience with lightsabers.
I'm just a doctor. I'm here.
I'll be straight up. I don't think we're supposed to fight this guy.
He's gonna try to manifest. Okay, perfect. You see him crouch. Lightsaber turns on, and he takes a great leap up into the air towards you, Darylis. Lightsaber held. Or, sorry, towards Theo.
Ah, fuck you, Darylis.
Ready to strike. And he's going to strike out at you with his lightsaber.
Please, Sith Lord, protect me.
I will give him a black. Let's see. Because he's
Protect
Jedi.
me, Sith Lord. Bollocks.
Ooh, ouch. Okay, well, let's see, breach 1. Ooh, yep. This is why lightsabers are dangerous. Oh, and it crits too, so that's fun.
Why?
I just fixed his arm.
So the lightsaber strikes out at you, Dio. You take 11 damage. It ignores 10 points of soak.
It was nice knowing you,
Ignores
Dio.
10 points of soak.
It ignores 10
even-
points of soak. And you also take a crit.
I'm
So
just here to
70
watch body parts.
Aren't you
Let's
happy
see.
you're a dark Jedi now?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to rely on this fucker to save me.
It's cool for a moment, wasn't it?
20.
Oh wait, I get to put together a Darth Jedi. I like this. Mechanical parts are their
90.
specialty.
Please, no.
Yes, try a.
Oh,
Oh, bye, Duh. Bye, Duh.
Oh no. Okay.
sorry about
Let's see.
Scream that you have the high ground.
Okay. No, it'd be a D4. Okay. Yeah. Ito, go ahead and roll for me a D4. Tell me what you get.
This is what limb gets chopped off.
that. 2.
Okay. And roll me a D100.
Okay. I'll roll these twice, I guess. So, first one is a 6. So 63.
Okay. The lightsaber flourishes, and in one quick movement, your right leg is chopped off above the knee.
Flamethrower versus lightsaber. Yes. Okay.
Luckily, it's a lightsaber, and the
out.
wound is automatically cauterized.
Yeah, it'll be easy for me to work on.
Aren't you so
world.
glad you said yes to
I'm
this
checking.
guy?
I don't have the sound effect of limb thumping to ground.
A dull
What
thud.
are you? Just
Yeah, you
Yep.
dull thud. Oh man.
Okay.
Oh.
ah! Ow! Fuck! Me. Which
Yep.
leg is it?
Is your right leg.
Right.
Ah, it's even worse. It's my hopping leg. Bastard. Can absolutely execute this fucker.
Alrighty. Up next is
Are you
Daryl.
So, even Ito has been talking out loud to this dark creature inside of his mind through his comlink.
Mhm.
Word all of us, Dark Sith Lord, protect me. Okay, yeah, sure, I'm down. Let's do this. And then all of a sudden, shit hit the fan over there. I I don't think he's with us. I think that he's not a good guy anymore. I don't think that.
You fucking shoot me and kill me.
I kind of feel like not fighting this guy is the right choice, even though he's attacking Ito, our party member. Don't entirely feel like trying to attack this Jedi is the right thing to do. So I'm going to hold my action
that are out.
and just kind of. I don't think I'm going to attack. I want to hold back. Is there? Let me ask this: is there a way to like maybe create an obscuring, like is there anything I could shoot that would create like a fog cloud, a smoke cloud, so that I could we could disengage, or we could maybe snake in there and grab Ito and get out, and figure out what's really going down?
Yeah, go ahead and make me a medium perception check, and that I would say that would be your maneuver. Or you could strain yourself and do that, and that would be your maneuver, which would let you take an action to try and shoot it.
It's two,
or activate it, or whatever.
Medium, you said, right?
Yep.
So I get one blank yellow, and I got one with the advantage and success symbols on the same face, and then I got the two difficulties had the little Imperial this thing here.
Okay, so it's technically a success. So you have one success and one threat. So, okay, go ahead. You do see a pipe that, since the room shook a little bit, it's now leaking some steam. So you could go ahead.
If that looks like it would cause what I want, a distraction, or to cause some sort of ablation of being able to see, I will totally shoot that.
Okay. So go ahead and make a ranged light check. I would say this would be medium with a black. That's what I would say.
A medium with a black?
A medium ranged light check at a black.
Got it. Ooh, all right. Okay. So that's this.
Okay.
And the blank face on the green, and then we got blank face on the black, and then this silly symbol, and all these guys.
Let's see. So I think that's a wash. I think, or maybe just one threat. So you aim yourself. So you aim, and you take the shot. You take the shot, and your blaster bolt hits right next to the steam pipe and doesn't do anything.
Right.
You suffer one more strain from the stress of the situation.
Oh, all right.
I'm going to resolve the threat.
Okay.
You let out a curse in Huddy's.
Got you.
Voodoo. And okay. Up next after Daryl is going to be Seika.
So I'm gonna look, see what he's trying to do, put two and two together, and fire at the pipe too.
Okay. Again, that will be a medium ranged light check with a black.
You and your blacks. Where'd that go? All right.
You can also spend a maneuver to aim, and that will give you a boost, blue die.
Okay. All right, here we go. That won't be too bad.
Ooh,
No, it will be bad.
a flat wash. Dang. Yep. Again, like you hit the other side of the pipe that Daryl hit. Okay. And it is Scabrous' turn, your nice headmate there.
Good.
And kind of out of your control, Dio, your arm raises up, and we're gonna see what good old Darth Scabrous can do.
Force meld your leg back to you.
Yeah, please.
Okay.
If I die, you die here, so help me out.
Okay, I need to flip a token to be able to use those. Let's see. Okay, so you all see Dio raise his arm towards the Jedi who has just landed on the catwalk. And a great gout of lightning shoots out of Dio's hand and strikes the Jedi right in the chest and sends him flying across the room and slams into the wall.
Ouch.
Oh, fuck! This is all out loud. Hell yeah. Dio's freaking the fuck out.
Okay. Well. and that is Darth Scabrous' turn. You see the three clone troopers spread out, and one's going to take a shot at you, Darylis. You are technically in cover, so it does increase the difficulty. Let's see. Okay, it drills you right in the shoulder. You take 10 damage, but no pierce, so you get to apply your full soak.
Oh, they get to apply fucking soak. Cool.
Well, they're not getting hit by lightsabers, so. Okay, let's see. Up next is, well, another shot is going to be at Seika. So the same.
So it's me versus the Jedi and then versus plant zombies. This is great.
Plant zombies with guns.
Plant zombies with guns.
I see. A string of blaster bolts kind of rake across the roof of the office that you're hiding in, and they miss. And the last one's going to take a shot at Dio.
Oh.
I'm dead if this hits.
Let's see.
Oh, Sith Lord protect me. Sith Lords protect me.
It's going to get a black the high ground. The blue. It's going to. Let's see. Ooh, ouch. Okay.
I die.
Ito, you take 12 damage.
Yeah,
Reduced
I'm
by
dead.
soak.
I'm dead.
Well, okay. So, are you at 0 wounds?
I'm at -2.
So there's no minus wounds. But when
no.
you reach,
You take that so your armor still soaks that, right?
I have 5
Yeah.
points of soak. I did 11 damage already.
Okay, let's make it sure.
yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so you're not dead. Let's
You're in the
see.
queue.
You do take another crit. So that will be 63 because you've already taken 1 critical hit.
Cool.
63. Okay. You are disoriented until the end of the encounter. But the shot hits you right dead center of Mastio, and you start to feel like you're going to lose consciousness, and you hear the voice inside your head go, "Awake." I need you to go ahead and make me a medium discipline check.
Awake. Okay.
One success.
All right. So you suffer 5 strain, and you
Okay.
have 1 wound. You are still conscious.
Taking 6 strain, but I'm on 1 HP. All right. Okay. Missing a leg. This is bad.
This is what you get for making poor life decisions, Dio.
I'm trying to save us by getting rid of the.
Alrighty.
By joining
back
the
to
dark side.
Yep, back to the top of the initiative order. Daskud, is your turn.
Is it? Did we? Because I was supposed to lose a turn. Did we already skip my turn? That I lost?
Yes. This is your turn. Spending freaking out, especially now that you see your
just
friends.
Whimpering.
Yeah.
Friend.
I hate this. I hate this. I hate this.
Whimpering on the floor.
What are Bean and Miskar doing?
They are completely catatonic.
Sugar.
They're not zombies yet, but
We're not
They are the
zombies
only-
yet. We're not zombies
They
yet.
are the only 2 people to have been affected by this virus at all. So they are completely catatonic in this. So Dio, it is your turn.
Coming close to passing out from blood loss because he's missing.
Actually, no,
fucking-
because the wound was cauterized. So
Well, then
no blood loss for you.
From shock, from pain shock, and a blaster bolt to the chest. I'm gonna freak the fuck out and try and get as far away from this as I possibly can. Where the hell can I run to on this? Well, or fly to?
Yes, you can fly into kind of the foreman's office that everyone else is in.
I'm not going to the box. I want to go back where we came and out. I'm leaving.
Oh, you are getting the hell out of here.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
missing a leg and I'm 1 HP and have 7 points of strain.
Okay,
I'm leaving.
so I need you to make
Taking my
me.
toys with me too.
Yeah.
I need you to make me a discipline check, please. No difficulty. This will be contested.
oh,
1 success.
your new
4
ghost
on.
friend doesn't want you to leave.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if he wants to lose the body and lose both of us in one go, that's his fucking prerogative.
You obviously weren't strong enough.
Holy shit.
Whoa!
Well, that's so. That's
Big
Scabrous'
dick.
Yep, that's Scabrous' coercion.
Right, all that. All that.
Yep.
Mm-mm-mm. Yummy goodness.
You're getting beat up
I mean,
inside
I
your
can't-
own head.
So as
So-
you
Future home.
dart forward, as you dart forward with your jetpack, go ahead and give me a planetary piloting check, an easy planetary piloting check. Oh, triumph. Okay, nice. You think about leaving, and that voice inside your head goes, "Stay. Kill the Jedi. Your new master commands it." And you are, I would say, with that special, or with that triumph, you are filled with righteous purpose. And you recover 5 strain.
Okay.
And now you can move anywhere in the room with this maneuver, basically.
I'll just get higher away from the Jedi.
Okay, the Jedi is seemingly unconscious against a wall, having been blasted by lightning.
Cool. I'll just get as much distance between him and me as possible while still in range of my blaster.
Okay.
And I'll roll back my eyes and like, help me out here, will you? And I'm gonna stretch out my hand and I'm gonna try and let him take over with doing that again.
Okay. Roll
To
a
save our
force
shared
die.
body.
Roll a force die. Yeah. Okay, cool. That's what you needed.
Okay.
You reach out your hand and you feel something take over. And one of the crates lifts up off the ground nearby and flings itself at the Jedi and just impacts right into him.
Whew, okay. Awesome. He's unconscious, so that's good.
Wait, the Jedi that was unconscious just had the crate land on him.
Mm-hmm.
Ouch.
Kill.
Okay. All right. It is the Jedi's turn. I need to make a check.
It's like full cokious, like, live! Sort of shit. Like, I have to live.
Let's see. Discipline.
I will do anything no matter what it is as long as I get to live. I must.
Okay. All right. The crate that landed on the Jedi, you see the tip of a green lightsaber all of a sudden peer out of it, and the crate gets sliced in half, and the Jedi limps out from in between the two halves of the crate and steadies himself and reaches out a hand towards you, Dio.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Okay. And the crate lifts, one of the halves of the crate lifts up off the ground and flings itself towards you. Go ahead and make me a hard planetary piloting check.
Rad.
Remember, you get 2 blacks from your negative handling on the jetpack.
Okay, reduced to 1 black. I'm gonna flip another token to turn one of those greens into a yellow.
Okay.
I think it's worth it at this point in the game because I'm so almost dead.
All right. You managed to very narrowly dodge out of the way.
Push it.
It clangs against you, and the sudden shock of having to move so fast strains you. So suffer 1 point of strain.
Okay. Right. All right.
Okay, Darylus, it is your turn.
You'll have to do better than that.
I need to take cover and do a stim pack.
Okay. Yeah, you're already in cover basically, so you spend your action. Yeah, I'd say you could get better cover. I'd say you could spend your maneuver getting completely crouching down so that no one can see you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So go ahead and stim pack yourself. So you regain 5 wounds.
Thank you. I was trying to remember how that works. I haven't done it yet.
Mhm.
Huzzah, not dying anymore. Hooray. I'm good. That's my turn.
Alrighty. Up next is Seika. It is your turn.
All right. Got to go with what worked the very first game we had. Going to put the blaster away. Grab one of the 4 grenades I have.
Yes.
Go take 2 of these and call me in the morning. Pull the pin on one or hit the button. Chuck it at the Jedi.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, Seika. Yes, Seika.
Go ahead and make a. This would be a ranged light check with 2 reds as the difficulty.
You got this, Seika. You got this.
Range light check with 2 reds.
2 reds.
We are
is
now
the
team mad
difficulty.
scientist.
I've been the mad scientist from the get-go. I want to experiment on you. No blacks, no nothing?
No blacks, no nothing.
Okay. All right.
You got this.
You
got
can
this, Seika.
flip a token. You can flip a token. You have 2 light side tokens left. You can flip one to get another yellow.
Oh, to change my last green to a yellow?
Yeah. If you want, if you'd like.
Darth Scabrous? What do you think? Flip a force token?
How many do you have already?
I've already got 2 yellows as it is.
2 yellows and how
A
many greens?
green and 2 yellows.
I
I
don't know.
think
That's
we're
up
good.
to you,
We don't
mate.
need to flip. I don't think we need to flip it.
Okay.
Hope
Cool.
you'll be fine. Hope you'll be fine. Oh,
All right.
Seika.
You boop boop and lob the grenade and like a hook throw, a hook shot, and it sails through the air and lands at the feet of the Jedi, and he looks down at it and it detonates.
Yes. Yes.
When
We
the
got down the dark
cloud
side.
when the cloud of smoke disappears, there's nothing there.
Well, I got the distraction you wanted, Darylus.
Yeah, no.
Okay,
Zombie
so
plants
you. No. After the grenade disappears, you see the clone troopers collapse into piles of armor.
When you say nothing was there, are his robes still there?
Nope, there's nothing there.
He pulled the
So he
Obi-Wan.
could. Yeah, he bamfed out. So there's no remains.
And that is going to be the end of initiative order.
Waiting to get hit from behind.
Just kind of hovering in the air without a fucking leg. Just
I'm not a fan of this resolve issue.
Neither am I, but playing pew pew with those guys was not on my list to do.
you can't grow me a force leg, can you?
But did you see what Ito did?
Yes, and I see me having to attach a leg to Ito so we can actually get out of here.
I'm gonna drift
Why can't
down on
we?
jetpack towards them. Just like I'm force floating, but it's by a jetpack instead.
Yeah.
What? Is there a reason we can't leave? You keep saying that. Is there a reason we can't leave that I missed?
We haven't finished the mission yet.
Well, okay. Finishing the mission and leaving are 2 different things.
So the engine room is clear. You can try to reactivate the reactor if you want.
Except there's still this giant man-sized cube. This
No,
With-
it unfolded and released a skeleton, and then Ito started acting real weird.
but it's
so
still
right now
there.
The
Yeah,
skeleton's there, yeah.
the cube is still there, but upon the disappearance of the Jedi, you see it fold back up into about, yay big.
I float down and you just pick it back up again. It's in my
It
head already.
glows.
It's just a receptacle now.
It glows softly in your hand.
Pocket
The
that
question is,
motherfucker.
where's Scabrous? Back in the cube or back in your head?
I shut my eyes and just think it and ask if he's still there.
You did well.
Okay.
I
But
open
we
my
can't
eyes.
hear this guy, right? We
Oh
just
no, I
hear
don't.
Ito
I
talking.
don't speak that loud. I land back down, the jetpack goes off, and immediately buckle to the floor because I'm missing a leg.
Yeah.
Seika!
I start scanning the ground for the stump.
Okay, make a perception check.
It'll have been eaten by the fucking plants.
I was
Make
just
a
thinking
medium
the same
perception
thing.
check.
Oh god, this is not going to be good to find it.
Yeah, you see it. The vines are starting to grow over it, so you best hurry if you want to rescue the leg.
You know what? We'll just give him to the med bay and attach a mechanical one. I know how these guys go. Sit there and go, yeah, it's plant food.
Shame. Oh well. So the visor goes clear, and I beckon Seika over to give me a once over.
I'm going to try to stabilize him.
Okay, go ahead and make a hard medicine check.
Seika, and by the way of that I mean DM, eye is the same, or have they gone full creepy Sith?
That would
Make
be a
him like the
roll for
mutt.
Seika. Yeah, that would be a roll for Seika to see
Cool.
if Seika's noticed.
Well, I clear the visor for him so he can look.
Yeah. Okay. So, what is your intelligence modifier, Seika?
I got a 4 in intelligence.
You have a 4 in intelligence. I think you also have a couple talents that increase the amount of hit points that you heal when you do a medicine check on someone. So I think
Going through that. Plus
It
1 wounds recovered per rank when healing people. And I've got
Yes.
3 ranks. Yeah.
3 ranks of that. Okay, so that's 7 to Dio. You recover 8 wounds.
I reach up and just like go for a hand up out of respect as he kind of filled me with fucking chemicals.
Yeah, and as Seika, you are helping Dio up. Give me an easy perception check, please.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm oblivious.
Yeah, you don't notice anything different about Dio as you help him on up.
I steady my hand on your shoulder, Seika. I'm like, am I all good? Everything besides the leg, obviously.
Just besides the leg, you look fine to me. Absolutely
Right.
fine.
Good. I set the visor back to just a matte black and lean on Seika's shoulder and just go, I guess we got to do what we came down here to do then.
Mm-hmm.
Bit more of a loss than I would have liked to have suffered for this, but at least we got it done.
What's Bean and Mariscar doing? Are they still catatonic? Is that
No, they seem to have they seem to have come around.
good? At least that's not a thing. That's not a thing. I would like to go over to where the Jedi disappeared
Mhm.
and just investigate that area more thoroughly.
All right, go ahead and make a medium vigilance check.
Vigilance.
Mhm.
Okay, so that's going to be that, and those. I got a blank on the yellow. I got a success on the green, and I got that on one of the hearts.
Okay,
And
so that's a failure. Yeah. Okay, so that's a
figured that.
failure. That's a failure with 2 threat. Yeah, you have no fucking clue what happened. There is a hole in kind of the grating on the catwalk where the grenade detonated. but that's about it. That's all you find.
Okay. That's what I
I
wanted to
shut
know.
my eyes and just ask in my head, did Seika get him? Or is he somewhere else?
If I didn't
You
get
have
him,
done well.
I'd let him.
He's
Oh, there's a
defeated.
bit of goo on the floor there, so probably.
Couldn't get any of that.
Yeah, broke up.
Oh, I said there was a bit of goo where he was, so I'm sure you got him.
Well done, Seika. You really taught that evil bastard a lesson, huh? Oh, God.
Well, it'll do what's best for my patients.
Oh, I think I look at my hand and go, no point hiding it. I think I might have the force now. So that's fucking weird.
Yes. That is.
Unless you want to turn the engine on?
Why are we doing that? Why are we doing that right now? What was the plan? I wasn't here for the planning session.
Seiko's
Because the only way I can reverse engineer this zombie cure is to get everything back online.
Seika has
Okay.
all the formulas and stuff written down. She needs the actual power to do it.
Yeah, I will wire up the reactor, I guess.
Okay, go ahead and make me a medium.
Mechanics.
Make me a medium mechanics check. Bean will help, so go ahead and add a blue.
I got both of those medium dice, got double stacked triangles. And then let me do medium, my actual skill roll here. Yeah, exactly. Ouch. So it's 2 and 2.
Very
Three. So 1 and 3. Those.
floor
Okay,
dice.
so I got on the blue. I got 2 U's.
Okay,
got-
2 advantage.
I got a double success on a yellow, double success on a green, and a single success on a yellow.
Okay, so that is 1 success, 2 advantage total. So after spending, 20, 30 minutes pulling the right levers, flipping the right switches, you turn on the main reactor to the RSV Fortitude. And there's a great whirring noise as the reactor spools up. And it turns on. The lights in the room, ka-chunk, ka-chunk, ka-chunk. It go from emergency lighting to full fluorescent lights. And you notice under the bright light, the vines seem to shrink a little bit.
Interesting. I give Daska knowing that.
I'd stick myself with a stim pack. I've got 3.
Okay, you recover 5 more wounds.
Rad, I need it.
Seika, I have 3 wounds. Are you able to take care of that?
Yeah,
Or do
sure.
I just need to use another stim pack?
No,
You
I
could
gotcha.
medicine check it. Yeah, that would be an easy medicine check from Seika to patch up Darylus a little bit.
Oof.
Oh, all right, cool. So you recover all of the wounds that you have. And I would say with that triumph and those 2 advantage, you would recover any strain you might have.
Oh, sweet. No, thanks. You.
And it gave you a cybernetic eye. No. With a roll like that.
Yeah, right.
Well, if one good thing came out of this, I guess it means Seika gets to satisfy your rabid fascination with giving people metal limbs.
Yes, it does.
He's like a reverse Rocket Raccoon. Okay. So what next?
Well, I quite like a leg, and I think Seiko would also quite like to make the cure. So I guess back to the med bay.
Med bay for me and you, and then the rest can. Should we inform those above the ship what we've discovered? Because they left out the Sith out of their story to us quite multiple times.
Do they know about it?
When they told us what was happening, they left him out completely.
Maybe they didn't know.
I couldn't hazard a guess, if I'm honest. I'll have to. I'll be honest. I'm still a bit disoriented after all that. Give me some time to process this on the operating table. I'm sure I'll have plenty of time. Right now, all I can think about is the intense pain directly below my thigh and the blaster mark on the side of my chest, and the fact that I shot lightning from my pissing fingers.
So you all make your way. You all make your way out of the engineering deck, and as you are, as you kind of get to the main one of the main hallways, the main arteries that help you move around the ship quicker, the main thoroughfare. You turn and you look and you see coming from the direction of one of the this is one of the hallways that has those dark streaks down the middle of it of dried blood. And you hear a rumbling noise, and it gets louder.
Rumbling like
louder.
The hull shaking, or rumbling like something coming down the hallway?
Rumbling like something's coming down the hallway.
Oh shit!
Something or multiple things?
Multiple things. And as you look and see down the hallway, about 4 or 5 dozen zombies kind of come sweeping around the corner and running down the hallway towards you.
Time for another one of those grenades, and I turn and call out.
I'm just thinking in my head, going, Scabrous, your turn.
And they stop. They seem to run, and they stop and lurch forward and kind of recoil back about 30, 40 meters away from you. And they all seem to be staring straight at Dio.
Oh, that's so not good. So not good.
I turn around to the group, still being on Seiko, and just go, walk behind me. I think we're all right.
No, we're not.
And
I
as
nod
you
to Seiko, it's like I think we're good.
and as you walk backwards, they seem to follow you, but still keeping a distance of about 30 meters or so.
Okay. We're okay. We're okay.
Are they
That's
friends of
one
yours
solid.
now?
I mean, it looks like it. It looks like they... I just don't think we're, as a team, going to have much of a zombie problem from here on out. Now we can cure it, thanks to you, and then take this thing back and get the hell out of here. I think that may have... It did, in fact, cost me a leg, but we may have gotten through this without having to fight any more of those things.
So you do know on the schematics of the ship, there is a med bay on this deck, basically like an emergency room. in case someone has a pretty horrible injury in engineering and they don't need to go up all the way to the medical deck. It's like less of a sick bay and more of an emergency room.
All right, we'll pop him in there.
Thank you.
Okay. But with the ship's power completely back on, all of the medical equipment is fully... Now, this isn't a lab, so you wouldn't be able to synthesize what you need. But all of the medical equipment in here is fully powered up.
Okay, without synthesizing him an artificial leg or anything, can I at least make a boot-like thing to attach that he can at least balance on? So if it was below the knee, it's just,
It was above the knee.
Oh, above the knee. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, you're peg leg Pete now then, dude.
Yeah. I think kind of glad I'm the one with the jetpack now.
Yeah. We'll just have to make something that he can hobble with till we get actually to the right one or the back of the tank and totally redo that.
Well, go ahead and make a hard medicine check.
I'm a fucking safe Lord. Oh my god.
Jeez.
Seika, you make me a leg that can shoot rockets.
Your leg is now force sensitive.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
that's a double fucking triumph.
I would say with this, with 2 triumphs, I would say the major narrative, the major, yeah, you actually like. It just so happens that part of the equipment in here is basically a 3D printer for limbs.
Engineering, it would make sense.
Yeah, because in working in engineering, people tend to lose limbs in accidents. So,
yes, totally.
So very. Give me them metal legs.
Yeah, so you do synthesize. You managed to synthesize Dio, a artificial leg made out of like plasteel. And all the circuitry to move it. I would say resolving that threat. You actually managed to get the leg created and installed in about 45 minutes, but it costs you 3 strain to do it.
Okay, that's fair.
Am I under during this, or am I conscious? While he's attaching bit bolts and stuff to my nervous system.
You are conscious for this, but it doesn't really hurt while you get it plugged on in.
Space drugs.
Yep, exactly.
While he's
So
working, I'll have a little chat with old what's his name, Darth Scarborough's in my head, and just ask him like, what the hell he wants with me. What does he need?
He says, "Cleanse the ship. Reforge me my body."
What?
And if I get you out of my head, do I keep some of the benefits?
I will take you on as my apprentice.
Deal. When Seika's finished attaching the leg, I put a hand on his shoulder, like blown out my fucking mind that he's able to do this in 45 minutes. And Nigel goes, consider half the credits that are mine from this job, yours, Seika.
Okay.
If you owe me a favor.
Deal.
I need you to make me something when we're done.
I can do that. Here, I like it here.
I guess then we better cleanse the ship. Oh,
Cleanse it of what?
The your
hold
your
on.
comlink boop boop comes on, and you recognize the voice of Chief Science Officer Panok, and you hear like background yelling and shouting, and she says, "What did you do down there? Did you discover anything?" Cedro, Feli, and Abra have gone all crazy. They've gone berserk. They're like animals.
Who?
Cedro killed Crash before we could do anything, but we have them restrained now. But they are feral. What's going on?
Oh, that's me.
We got the
I don't know how to
engine.
explain that to them. What just happened?
Yes. Yes, we know you got the engine on, but another thing, the transponder beacon turned on when you turned the power back on. I do not know how much of a signal it sent out, but just possible that something heard it.
Well, shit.
Shit, indeed.
Get back to you as quick as we can. We're on our way up from the engine room.
Come as fast as you can. It is imperative. Perhaps
turn
you
my
can calm them
comlink
down?
off. It's like, yeah, we're coming. Also, the comlink's off so they can't hear me. I just go, Scarborough, what did you do?
There's no answer.
Scarborough's kept rich right now.
Alrighty.
I'm sorry, Mr. Scabrous in a meeting.
Scarborough's out at the moment. He's currently down in like, the stomach area. He's currently eating, but he'll be back up to the brain shortly.
So you all make your way
Up
from
On the
the
way, I'm going to
engine.
grab a few more stim packs out of this med bay,
Yeah.
or make
Oh,
a
yeah.
quick
Oh, yeah,
trip
there's-
to be readily handled, like readily carried, and it's not like too big or encumbering. That might come in handy later on.
What are you grabbing?
Oh, I don't know what I might find because I'm not a medic, but anything that looks like, oh, hey, that looks like it could be helpful. Stim packs mostly, but you know, if anything else catches my
Yeah,
eye.
there are 5 stim packs in here.
Okay, that's good to know.
Carry on. You have enough incumbents.
And there is an emergency med kit.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. That was kind of what I was wondering.
Let's see. I'm trying to find the emergency med pack. And specifically what it does.
In
Let's
my
see,
hands,
the-
it builds a body.
The emergency med pack allows people to heal others without any penalties. So even if they're really messed up, you can still heal them without any penalties in there. But they are a single use item.
Or not a medic.
Even if you're not a medic, yeah.
That's what I was hoping. I'll stash that in the bag.
Okay. Yeah, so y'all go back to the y'all go back to the command center, and there is, you see a dead clone pilot, who looks like he has had his throat completely ripped out. And they have put his body kind of on his cot and, covered it. As you are coming in, they are covering his body with a sheet. And you see kind of in the back of the room, well, as would be towards the front of the room, but the opposite from where you guys enter from the elevators into the command deck, you see that there's three of these people who have been restrained into a chair, and they are thrashing like animals. Like, they are completely feral. You see one of them, Dr. Cedro, the Zabrak, you see she has like blood kind of just running down her chin. And as, Panok, as you all enter, Panok walks up to you and says, "So what's happened? The lights came on and they just went feral."
Well,
Have you taken a blood sample from
we
them?
activated the engines, and after we had a small encounter with a green lightsaber wielding fellow, and 3 plant zombies.
I'm sorry, plant zombies?
Big
Yes.
plant in the engine room. It's
It was-
infested with stuff.
Yeah, they were animated the armor with plants.
Were there flowers? So is there flowers associated with that?
Yes, the Jedi was
Yeah.
manipulating it all.
The Jedi? What?
There was a Jedi on the ship who was moving it all with his mind and using it to attack us.
What Jedi? I'm sorry, I do not know.
Apparently, there's one of the old religion here on this ship.
That is... You see her look visibly, like, really confused.
It has been handled, I think.
Well, good. If they were controlling these creatures, I'm glad that you defeated them. But there is...
I don't think that's who's controlling the creatures. Something else is controlling the creatures.
Then who is? What are you talking about?
Someone else is controlling the creatures.
Sideways glance to Ito.
Do you know who? If they're controlling these creatures, we must stop them.
I think Ito knows more about this than the rest of us.
Yes, I saw some things.
He interacted with the device.
At one time, there was a Sith aboard your ship, in fact, a number of them. And they tried to synthesize some sort of strengthening serum or something from these plants. And it clearly got very out of control. Because I saw in what I could only describe as almost like memories or visions or something.
So the visions that you experienced weren't on the ship. They were in some sort of like temple complex.
Which is probably where they said they found the object in some kind of temple, so it's probably there.
Oh, right, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He was trying to create these more powerful Sith creatures, but clearly it went out of control. And he locked himself away, and he lost complete control of these creatures. And then your lot clearly found whatever he was doing and took it back and infected your own ship with his same mistake. But I think, let me try something. I'm going to walk over to the feral creatures,
Mhm.
tied to the chairs, and just like give them the death stare, like down, just like stop.
Make
The dad's pissed off in the store look.
roll a force die. Roll a force die, Dio.
Oh shit!
Ooh.
We're using force now.
Okay, and go ahead and make a coercion check.
Coercion. Oh, not the best. Oh wait, no, I took an ability for this.
I would say coercion, a medium coercion check, but you get a boost.
Okay, so that's and that also took a thing, didn't I? Where is it? Coercion demeanor. Remove one difficulty rank. Remove one difficulty per rank of it. Okay. So what's the difficulty for it?
Is it
convincing
like
demeanor.
remove difficulty? Oh geez. Okay,
Remove
yeah.
one difficulty per rank of convincing demeanor, of convincing demeanor from only deception or skullduggery. Oh, so it's not this, sadly. Ah, okay. So it's just
so it's coercion.
so that would just be the three greens, and difficulty
Three
was
greens, 2 purples, and a blue.
2 purples and a blue.
Drum roll.
Hey,
Okay.
Just barely.
Yeah.
yeah.
You turn and you stare them down, and they look right back at you and are like snarling, like foaming at the mouth even, and they stop, and all 3 of them turn and look down at the cube that is hanging from your belt, and they just are transfixed by that. Daska, you notice from your dealings with people, you notice that Dr. Pannock is like, she's holding her head as though she has a really bad headache, and her eyes are bloodshot, like extremely bloodshot. She seems like dazed and someone's cell phone's going off.
That's mine. Yeah, I thought that the sound was turned off, but apparently not.
And she seems very like confused and like, there's a Jedi on the ship, like what the hell? And she's like muttering under her breath and that sort of thing.
She's been so mind wiped.
Well, I was already really suspicious because there was that. Well, and the doctor that's tied up to the chair is the one that we read her files, and they all were like devolving into madness, right?
Mm-hmm.
Somebody was controlling her. I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm.
Daska's concerned greatly. So Daska's gonna like walk over to Dr. Pannock and like put a hand on her shoulder and like try and make eye contact and be like, "Are you okay?"
I do not know. She like jumps a little when you put your hand on her. I do not know. It's been so much. We have lived in the terror for I don't know how long, and now you show up all of a sudden, and you're here for what seems like 2 days, and then
No hell breaks loose.
Cedro, Felian, and Opera, they go crazy. They've been rock steady for this long, but now I do not know. It is so they have gone berserk, and there's a Jedi on the ship. And
Well, not anymore.
Well, I don't know. There wasn't a body.
I did find some food. The grenade went off, though.
You found it. Based on the research that we found on the computer, from the records, it would seem maybe the Jedi was keeping him stable until this time. But then we've possibly severed that connection, meaning that his madness has come back to him. Would you agree, Seika?
I would lean that way, unless someone's drawn any blood and we can see what possibly is running rampant through their system. But I could definitely lean that they were his puppets.
That is... I'm sorry. I am just overwhelmed at all of this. What are we to do to them? They're like wild animals.
Well, Seika here is about to make your day a whole lot better.
Just sedate them.
Yeah, could sedate him for now. See how much it takes to knock him out.
We have tried. We have given them 3 times the amount of sedatives that it would take to knock out a Kira-colored Bantha.
It's a shame there isn't a cure, isn't it?
I do not know. Is there anything that you all have found?
I'm ready to make the cure for this. Let's do this.
Good. Please. Let's go. And he turns to the rest of the survivors. Says, I think we might have found our salvation with these folks. I know we did not trust them at first, but please, double barrel bullwhip. Grab our friends. Bring them with us. Perhaps this cure will bring them out of whatever's going on.
Absent-mindedly,
yeah, they'll be the first ones we tested
fresh
on.
air, Dio takes his helmet off. Well, take the visor off at least.
Good.
How does he look?
Visibly, he looks pale. His eyes are sunken into his face. His cheeks are gaunt. Dio's not looking good. He looks like he has been sick for like a month.
Wow. I
And,
should have
like,
worked a little bit up there instead of just down the leg.
I did lose a limb a couple of hours ago.
Mm-hmm.
So you all set back off down towards the med lab,
Mm-hmm.
where
Do we have a
all of the
if I'd like to get a chance, I'd like to pull this doctor, this lead scientist, kind of back away from the rest of the group as we walk through the halls, and just kind of ask her some questions.
yes,
about-
what's
What Jedi were like in her time before the war and everything like that.
they were our generals. They led the grand armies of the Republic, and fought and won many battles for us.
Did you ever come across any?
I make a vigilance check.
Oh,
Darylus.
She swings at you.
I know, right? I only get a green for this one. That is a success.
It is easy, so it's 1 purple as a difficulty.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was like, I actually get 2 greens. I was reading the wrong thing. But I got the triangle on the purple, and I got a success and 2 the advantages.
Okay, so that's a failure, but she just kind of trails off, and then she goes, no, I have not encountered any of them.
But what kind of stories did you hear?
I heard that they were great fighters. One Jedi could take on thousands of droids by themselves.
Well, droids are powerful, but what about their character?
I never met one, so I cannot speak. I hear that they are given towards balance and towards objectivity, but I have never met one.
Has any of you met one before?
No, I do not think so. We didn't have one on the ship.
Okay, well, that's all I wanted to ask her. Just wanted to see where that would go. I'll just move along quietly after that.
Okay. So every single one of the survivors, except for Machine, one of the clone troopers, is going to the med bay. Machine said he would keep watch at the.
I hope so.
Mhm. And
So,
you all,
very bored, incredibly stupid.
you all make it to the med bay, and Seika, I assume that you take blood samples of Albra,
Mhm.
Felian, and Cedro, the 3 people who have gone feral.
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead
And
and
then- Go ahead.
make me a medium medicine check.
All right.
Okay. Yeah, so you managed to get blood samples from all 3 of them, and put together and run them through like a spectrometer and examine them, and you see, based on your previous experience taking samples from both Mirskar and Bean, they are filled with viruses.
Let's take Miskar and Beans also. I want to see if it's starting to stack in their system again too.
Mirskar comes up negative. It seems as though your previous treatment has been successful in purging it from his system. Bean, it appears as though the virus in Bean has mutated, and instead of attacking the blood vessels, it seems to just be lying dormant in his system.
Great. An insect with a dormant virus. Wonderful. All right.
He's like a tick.
Some light.
Exactly. Well, first thing I'd want to do is see how much sedative it actually takes to drop one of those 2 before I start working on the cure.
One of who? Mirskar
One
and
of those-
Bean, or
No,
the
one
3
of the
ferals?
3 the 3 ferals that they told me they couldn't drop with what they were using.
Yeah. Okay. So like you run like a toxicology test on their like blood to see what's in it, and there's a ton of sedative. Like this would kill people. The amount of sedative that is in their system right now.
Okay.
And examining their blood, you notice that the virus in there. So as you examine the blood on the 3 samples. The 3 ferals. If you've already taken the samples,
Yeah.
it is, like the virus outnumbers any blood cells or anything in there. It is like completely saturated. These people are completely saturated by the virus.
That's what I was hoping for, I guess you'd say. All right. Time to come up with a cure to kill the virus. Not just cure it, but totally take it out.
Okay. Go ahead and make me a daunting medicine check, Seika, with 2 blues.
Is there any
Daunting.
chance that old Scarborough knows anything about this, that I could maybe let him coach me through to help Seika? With him being the one who started it all, after all. If he's willing.
He is not. He's gone strangely silent.
Okay.
Daunting's 4 purples, right?
Yep, 4 purples.
You can do it, Seika. Flip a token if you need to.
Yeah, that's a lot. Okay. 2 blues also, right?
With 2 blues. Yep.
All right. Blind roll.
Yes!
Okay.
Hallelujah! Seika is rejoiced.
So you spend about 5 hours running through all the tests and, synthesizing this cure. And you managed to, get this, get this synthesized into an injectable form. Yeah, do you inject it into some of these scientists?
No, right to David.
Oh,
No,
shit.
joking. No. I just wanted the reaction.
Lightning!
That
One of
would
the
be
scientists,
interesting.
right, yeah. Oh, yeah. No, it would have been. No, one of the scientists. And let's see what happens to him.
Okay, so you inject it, right into the, just mainline it right into him, and they, are shaking and convulsing, and after a few, they convulse for a few seconds, and they, lean back and let out this long howl of pain, and they stop convulsing, and let's see. And you see, this one is Dr. Cedra. She convulses and stops for a moment and just goes completely limp.
Probably the sedatives kicking in. Does she have a pulse?
She has a very, very faint pulse.
Sedatives.
Yep.
So that's one.
Now if she dies, it's yeah. Go down the road.
Go down the row.
Dr. Seika.
Let's see. As you inject it into the second one, Dr. Albra, he does the same thing, convulses. He leans forward in his chair and vomits, and it's just this black goo, the same sort of black tar that leaked out of the zombies when you cut them or shot them. And after he's done vomiting, he stops and is just limp in the chair in his bindings, and he's dead.
Too much
Look at look at one of the other people that came with us and said, "Clean that up. I want to analyze that."
One of the clone troopers is right, and goes and gets a dustpan and is trying to with his hand try to push it into the into the dustpan.
Sith nodding to the corner.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last one.
Nods at Sith.
Ooh, okay. The last one, Dr. Felian, a Twi'lek male. You inject it into him, and he just goes stiff as a board. And all of a sudden, black goo starts leaking from his eyes, and then from his nose, and then from his ears.
They're all infected.
And then he just goes limp and is dead. No pulse.
So they're all infected.
They're all infected, but now we need to find a way to make this an aerosol. And as the initial one was airborne, we now make the cure airborne.
Do you think you could work that out?
Well, if it works, shouldn't we inject ourselves so it inoculates us?
I mean, the cure is no longer being spread anyway.
Have one of the clone troopers come over that is not infected.
Yeah, the clone sergeant, Bullwhip, he comes up, and he's the one who's holding the dustpan full of the goo.
I'll take the
He's like-
dustpan from him, pick up the syringe, and I'll inject Bullwhip. I want to see what it does to a living being, not infected.
Wow.
You know,
You're
Savage.
you could have at least given me a heads up.
Yeah, and you might have said no.
Bloody hell! He just kind of like wanders off, but you see him. He like starts wobbling a little on his feet, and then sits down on one of the beds. It's just like, oh, Doc, what'd you give me?
Hopefully, a preventative cure.
That's good, I guess. God, and he seems okay, just lightheaded.
Okay, we can make it an aerosol.
hopefully.
If you get work on that, we can keep an eye on Bullwhip in case anything happens.
Okay.
Helmet on,
actually-
visor down, filter on.
This one I'll defer to the crew. Do we do this to Mirskar and Bean?
Well, I certainly don't want either of them going berserk.
I mean, do we as characters know they're still infected? Because Saker operated, and it looked like they were.
I do. I knew that Mirskar was, but it hasn't shown up again from the last things. But Bean is mutated. Or do we wait till their characters come back to let them decide?
I think maybe we make it into an aerosol, and then it's their choice. They take their rebreathers off. To
There you go.
take it, I guess.
Okay, so
Maybe they want to be weird Sith zombies. Who knows?
yeah, Seike, to turn this into an aerosol, go ahead and give me a. This wouldn't be a medicine check. I would say this would be a hard knowledge check.
Oh,
As it's less about specifically medicine and more about chemistry.
But which kind
hard
of
knowledge. Yeah, that's where I'm looking. Which
I
Would it
think
be
there's just a
like
knowledge. It'd be under lore, I think.
under lore?
Oh, knowledge
lore.
skills. Is it lore check? Excuse me. Yeah. Sorry, it would be knowledge lore check. That would be hard.
Okay, I'm not as scared of that.
You got this, Saker.
And a hard lore check. Alrighty, that's everything I can get me.
The doctor is in. Yeah.
All right.
Annihilate the doctor!
Well, there we go. You managed to you spend a couple more hours synthesizing more of this cure, and you do manage to turn it on. You do manage to turn it, into an aerosol.
I also do like the fact that you said it was a hard check, and he rolled a daunting check and still got it.
Yeah, he still got it. Still had an extra purple. So no worries, but he just made it even more difficult. But as the lab equipment is synthesizing more of this, more of this aerosol to pump into filtration, air filtration, your comlink, comes on, and it is.
There's only one person not here.
It is machine, and he says, just a heads up. I've got 2 large hyperspace signatures coming out just beyond the asteroid belt.
Shit.
One is the identifying itself as the domination from the Empire.
Ooh.
And the other's a Moncal? What's a Moncal cruiser
Oh,
doing this
geez.
far out? But whatever's going on, we're going to have company in about 3 hours.
We let them fight it out and we side with the winner.
And that is where we are going to end it for today.
Awesome.
That's not who I thought would show up.
Excellent.
Alrighty. Well, so let's go around and introduce or remind the good people who we are and where we can find more of you should they want. So let's go clockwise. So we'll start over here. Yes.
With me?
With you, because we're going
Whoa.
to do format for today.
I am Eris, or Animus Panthera. I can mostly be found on Twitter. On Saturdays, I also play Invisible Sun on other Doc's channel. I like to talk about animals and cosplay and all kinds of other fun stuff like that.
I am Darth Creed.
That was
I guess. Yeah. That was mental.
not a decision I expected.
Look, Darth Vader fanboy all the way. I'm Dom. Find me on Twitter at the same thing, or Casting Call Club, or Fiverr, whatever. If you need the voice things, I'm around at all of the times. Thank you for having me.
I'm Jesse. Give me an axe on Twitter and Twitch and all of that. You can also find me on Band of Nerds. We're gonna have new episodes coming out in September, so look for that. And then we'll just be playing I think we'll be playing a little bit of some Barovian madness there. And other than that, just find me. I'm on the Twitter and doing all that stuff.
Yeah. I'm Drake Finney on Twitter, Twitch, all the other social medias. You can find me all weekend here at Encounter Roleplay. Definitely enjoy the fact that I think I'm the only doctor that now has the kill of the Jedi on his belt, and I will embrace that forever. But after Apocalypse Win, that's next. You can definitely catch me on Wall of Crawlers, where I play a very hyper halfling monk, and we're supposedly doing our finale today. So we'll have to see if I actually make it through it. Yeah, I never really make finales, so we'll see if I live. Other than that, hey, today was fun. Today was a blast.
Yeah.
No, jeez, that was Lazy Bones. You are crazy. You are absolutely insane with the GM. You know, so
What have you done to my boy Dio?
What have you done? It was your decision.
Yes, it
I
was.
really want to go back and watch the first episode now and go, where the hell did we go?
Right.
All right.
We were
and
all so excited about oodles of money, and now we're in a shitload of trouble.
And I am Lazybones, your evil bastard GM, making things spooky with space zombies and space ghosts. R.A.P. Pickles. Can I F's in the chat for Pickles? Yeah, exactly. So yeah, if you like me, I'm here. We have 2 more episodes, so that should be lots of fun. And yeah, you can find me at _LazyBones on Twitter or LazyBones TV on Twitch. And you can also find me Wednesdays at 8:30 Eastern on Dammit Bear's channel, where I play Sospiro, the Air Genasi monk. We are playing Ghost of Saltmarsh, and it's very fun, very piratical. So, all right, please, everyone, stick around for Apocalypse When, great show featuring several friends of mine. So, I will see you all around the galaxy. Bye now.
Goodbye.